a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time.
Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, free NHL picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. When the Bet365 was the first book to do it, they released the first 5 days of the regular season, and this Thursday slate was my favorite right off the bat. It was my favorite slate, so I'm really excited to go through today's slate. Taking a look back at yesterday, slight losing day. Luckily, got Caulfield anytime goal, which he scored, but then it got taken away. But then he ended up scoring again, so that was nice. But the player props, obviously, I took some big plus money player props, and unfortunately, some of those players didn't score. So slight losing day yesterday, but looking to bounce back here today in this slate. We will jump into the live chat here. Let's go Wild for today. All right, all right. Your Minnesota Wild, yes. I'm excited. Finally, I get to see the Wild play today. We will begin. I actually did want to make a quick kind of announcement, I guess. So last year, obviously, I started selling picks on picks and parlays, and I kind of struggled with giving out premium plays on the show, uh, whether or not to do that. So this year, all my NHL plays are I'm giving out on the show for free. You can buy my plays in other sports, NFL, college football, MLB playoffs, all that stuff you can get on the site for premium plays. But while there are the other sports around, all my NHL plays are free in this video, which is thanking everyone for watching and supporting the channel. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you want my premium plays in the other sports, feel free to head over to Picks and Parlays. The link is in the description below. But we're going to jump into it here, and we are going to start with the first game, which is the New York Rangers and the Buffalo Sabres in this one. New York Rangers minus 125 to minus 135, road favorites. Buffalo plus 110 to plus 119, home dogs 6.5 when it comes to the total. And when this line was released, Buffalo was plus 105. So really, mostly today, we've seen the line move where you're getting a better price to take Buffalo here at home. And that's the side I'm going with in this one. I like the Sabres on the money line, plus 110. Now you can get it closer to plus 119. And I like two player props. Owen Power, over half a point at plus 125. So he just needs a goal or an assist, and you cash a plus 125 bet. He just signed his big deal, and obviously he's the defenseman on the second D pair, and it's a really great price for him at plus 125. And then one of my favorite Sabres players, Victor Olofsson, anytime goal plus 330, a ton of value there with him. And he is someone lower in the lineup that can score for the Sabres. And I just couldn't pass up that price to start the season. Jake Hasner, I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking what I am, Terry. And he says time to hunt. No. Jake is a Florida Panthers fan. We'll get to that game later on. Don't be an idiot today. Let's all bet the Buffalo Sabres money line. Panthers are weak on defense. Yes, we'll get to that soon. Don't tell Tim New York Rangers is the side. I disagree. Sabres money line and over 6.5. Yeah, I like the Sabres money line. The only issue with the over is a lot of the time when these two teams face, and the last four meetings have gone to overtime. So if anyone wanted to look at the draw, but when these two teams face, it tends to be lower scoring games. We've seen a lot of 3-2 final scores between these two teams. So I wouldn't be shocked if it goes to overtime 2-2, and then the Sabres win in overtime. That would not shock me. So no play for me on the total, but I'm going to take the Sabres money line first game of the season in this one. Going to our next game here, which is a really interesting one. Philadelphia Flyers and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Philadelphia minus 105 to plus 107. Columbus minus 107 to minus 120. 6.5s right across the board. And this game, Columbus was around minus 130, I think minus 135 when the line opened. And I didn't want any interest. I didn't have any interest on laying minus 130, minus 135 with Columbus on the first night of the season. But now that we've seen the price go down to minus 107, minus 115, I like that a lot better. I do think this Columbus team wins this game. I think this Columbus team is better than Philadelphia. And the reason for that is Columbus has some of their good prospects on the team. Philadelphia, obviously, Mishkov is in Russia, and then their other top prospect isn't playing yet either. So Philadelphia doesn't really have the youth that this Columbus team has, and I'm going to take Columbus here. Game one of the season, minus 115. And then I'm on 3-player props for this one. Kirill Marchenko over half a point, plus 100. He was one of the top goal scorers for the Blue Jackets last year. He is on the third line with Adam Fantilli, who I have his anytime goal plus 330. Fantilli, I shared the video on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, at Let's Go Wild Picks, I shared the video out earlier of Fantilli. It's his birthday today. A really emotional video that his family sent him, congratulating him on making the team. And he is going to be the face of the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's going to be the face of the franchise over the next few years. And I'll take him in game one of the season, his first game of his career on his birthday. I'll take him plus 330 to score a goal here. If there was a point prop available, I would be on that, but obviously there's not yet. And then for Philadelphia Flyers, Bobby Brink over half a point plus 120 is projected to be on the top line for the Flyers. So plus 120. Philadelphia is going to score some goals too. If we look at this Columbus team, their issue isn't necessarily their forwards. Their issue is their defense and goaltending. So I think Philadelphia is going to score some goals as well. So I'll take Bobby Brink over half a point at plus 120 for the Flyers as well in this one. I'm surprised you didn't say draw. I took one draw so far between Vegas and Seattle, and we all saw how that went. And I'm going to be on draws. We are going to cash draws on this show throughout the season, but I'm going to kind of pump the brakes here and just kind of see how things go when it comes to draws, and kind of wait a bit and kind of see what teams kind of trend towards overtime and see how much overtime we're getting this year, because we haven't got much, obviously, so far. Tage Thompson is a beast. Yes. And you could definitely look at his props, just a little bit pricey for Thompson. Pass 1-800-GAMBLER. Nick is the guy who has a million bets in bum fights. Nick loves his bum fights. And I'm the one telling him to call 1-800-GAMBLER, but I like this game. I do. I think there's value. Columbus or nothing. I agree. Kent Johnson, unfortunately, was one of the players on my player to watch video, but he's not playing. So he is a healthy scratch to start the season, which kind of surprises me. But like I said, this Columbus team has a lot of youth, and Kent Johnson just didn't make it for the first night. Kirill the Thrill Marchenko. No, it's Kirill Marchenko. There's only one Kirill the Thrill in the NHL. I don't think I have to. I don't think I have to explain that anymore. Only one Kirill the Thrill. Bobby Brink, Denver University from Minnesota. Yes, yes, he is. What's up, Terry Smatch? Like, thank you, Richie. You always do. I know what game you're looking forward to most tonight. Who's in net for the Flyers and Jackets? I don't believe we've had any confirmed goalies for either team. Actually, no, that's incorrect. Both goalies have been confirmed, and no big surprises. Carter Hart for Philadelphia, Elvis Merzlikins for Columbus, and the game we talked about before, Igor Shesterkin is unconfirmed, but if the Rangers start quick, I would be absolutely stunned. And then Devin Levi is likely for Buffalo. Hart is good. Yes. Yes, he is, but Philadelphia's defense is not. But neither is Columbus's. So I could understand why somebody would want to look at the over in this game as well. Underrated. Yeah, he is, but I think this is a game Columbus can win. We will jump into the third game here, and obviously a team I've been waiting for this season to finally play their first game, and that's the New Jersey Devils. If you watch the Power Ranking show, I have New Jersey number one in the NHL. They're my top ranked team, and I got some flack for it. People saying about New Jersey's goaltending, New Jersey's goaltending, New Jersey's goaltending, and I'm not going to make any statements here because it's game one of the season. We haven't actually seen any of their goalies play, but I tweeted earlier on in the preseason, beginning of preseason, that the Devils have five goaltenders that really could play. Obviously, one is kind of the HL guy, but they have young goaltenders that can play. In this game, it is going to be Vitek Vanacek, who should be their starter and is against Ville Husso for the Red Wings. And Ville Husso is going to be the starter for Detroit. I don't really expect we see a ton of James Reimer. Detroit's going to need Husso to stand on his head a lot of nights because Detroit, again, a team that really struggles defensively. And a team that struggles defensively is heading to New Jersey to start their season. Not a good spot for the Red Wings. This Devils team is stacked from top to bottom offensively. New Jersey team total, you'd have to go 4.5 for plus money, which I'm not ready to jump on here in the first night of the season. But I am on the Devils minus 1.5, which you can get for plus 105. And you may be asking, Terry, you love the Devils, you love them offensively. Why aren't you betting any player props? And the issue is what I kind of expected is that we're not getting any value really with Devils player props, like point props, when it comes to single betting. But if you have access to Bet365 or Bet Rivers, you are able to same game parlay. I'm not sure what other books allow you to same game parlay, but really what I do is I would same game parlay the top line, the second line, and the third line, do three separate. And you could definitely get some good plus money there. And if one line scores, then obviously you cash that. So that's how I'm going to be looking at the Devils is really looking at their player props in a parlay way because it's hard to take them singly. Books have them priced pretty right so far to start the year. Devils team total over 3.5. Full game over 6.5. Devils team total over 3.5. What'd you get that at? I think it's probably like minus 140 or something. It's kind of crazy. Looking to fade New Jersey Devils tomorrow. That's going to be a tough game for me tomorrow, because yeah, we'll get to that tomorrow. We'll get to that tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, tomorrow's show will be a little bit later. I do have a meeting I have to go to, so I won't be able to do the show at 12:30 tomorrow. So the show will be, I think I have for two. Um, Devils money line over 6.5. Yes, I like that. I like that. Toffoli will have a good game. Yeah, parlay him with Jack Hughes. Let me make sure the lines are confirmed. Yeah, so the top line is Toffoli, Hughes, and Bratt. And you can get Jack Hughes for half a point on Bet365. So I would same game parlay Toffoli, Hughes, and Bratt all together to get a point. And then Timo Meyer, Heishier, and Mercer. So Mercer is getting moved back up with Nico Heishier, which I just noticed. And Dawson Mercer is a player prop you can get at a decent price. So I would look at that as well. But yeah, I would look at the top two lines. Look at the top two lines. Timo Meyer and Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Devils -1.5. Let's go. Yeah, Timo Meyer is with Nico Heishier and Dawson Mercer as a second line. That is a first line on a lot of other teams. So the Devils are stacked. The Devils are stacked. Devils money line and over 6.5 combo is +181. Ooh, ooh, that's nice. You know it's game day when Terry breaks out a wild jersey. Hey, Richie, come on now. This is the first time I get to wear a wild jersey in months. And why is that? Because of your Dallas Stars. That's why. So you let me wear my jersey. Stacked team. Yes. What's the decor? Well, the decor is a bit young. Siegenthaler and Hamilton, obviously, on the first line. Ball and Marino on the second line. And then Luke Hughes is with Brendan Smith on the third line. Luke Hughes is obviously one to keep an eye out on for the future. But the Devils are just going to be able to outscore opponents, and Detroit is a pretty good opponent for the Devils to face on game one. And the Devils puck line was -120, and now it's moved to plus money. So I really like the Devils puck line in this game. We'll go on to the next one here, which is the Seattle Kraken and the Nashville Predators. And Seattle, you can get -102 to -110. Nashville, -108 to -115. Sixes right across the board in this one. And I backed both of these teams as dogs on game one of the season. And unfortunately, both of these teams lost on game one of the season. So looking at it here, I already locked in my plays for the first 3 days of the season. So up to today, I locked in my plays earlier on when the lines were released. And I took Seattle. And I mentioned on the other show that I was backing Seattle the first 3 games of the season. I have officially done the first two, but I have not pulled the trigger yet on their third game. But I like the Kraken here, which you can get for -105. And one player prop to keep your eye on is Ely Tolvanen. He is on the third line for the Seattle Kraken, but he was put on waivers by Nashville. So Nashville pretty much said, we don't really need you. We don't really care if someone else claims you. We're going to put you on waivers. And the Seattle Kraken went and claimed him. And now here he comes heading to Nashville. And he's +125 to score a point. So it's a goal or an assist. That's an absolute no-brainer for me. Easily makes my card in this one. Looking at other props, I won't be surprised if we see McCann chip in. His point prop is, I think, -130. So not something I'm pulling the trigger on. But same game parlay. Beniers didn't get a point game one, but you could same game parlay Eberle and McCann. The reason why I'm not doing any other player props besides Tolvanen is I wouldn't be shocked if this is a low scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like 2-1 or maybe 3-2. I think this is probably a lower scoring game, but I'll take the Kraken money line again. Preds money line and under 6.5. Yeah, I can see the under 6.5 for sure. Preds can build off that Tampa game. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Preds money line, I don't like it, but my numbers showed value on them. The only thing, really, what I can say is with betting with numbers, it's so early on in the season. We don't really have much number, so I'm. It's kind of hard for me to look at too much when it comes to stats at this point in the season, because some teams haven't even played yet. So it'll be a bit before I look at more in depth in stats. Preds power play is bad though. Yeah, Kraken had a bad game, their first game. Goalies, Preds win. Yeah, Preds have the goalie advantage. We'll see if it is enough to help them win this game tonight. And going on to our next game here, which is the Florida Panthers and the Minnesota Wild. You can get Florida anywhere from plus 105 to plus 117. Minnesota minus 125 to minus 135. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And I don't think my pick in this game is going to be too much of a surprise to anybody, but that's fine. I'll take any slack that I get. Minnesota coming into this game rested. They have been working hard in the preseason with a get to work type attitude. Rested, having been knocked out in the first round once again last year. And this Florida Panthers team on the other side is coming in pretty beat up. They gave it their all in that Stanley Cup run, and I thought they had a chance. I really did. I thought they were going to have that Cinderella run, but unfortunately, they came up short. And because of that, they lost two big pieces on defense. Brandon Montour and Aaron Ekblad will not start the season. I think Ekblad is projected to come back in January, and I think Montour is in November. So Florida went and decided to sign Oliver Ekman-Larsson to come in here and help replace those guys. And if anyone has seen Oliver Ekman-Larsson the last few years, you'll know that, or if you watch the Vancouver Canucks show with me and Jimmy the Bag, um, you'll know that Oliver Ekman-Larsson has really struggled the last few seasons, especially defensively. He's on that top pair for Florida, and Florida's defense is just rough to start the season. So Bobrovsky is going to have to stand on his head for the Panthers to win this game. One thing to note, though, and I don't have the exact numbers up here, but I believe it's 5 in a row. The Florida Panthers have had success against Minnesota recently, the last few years. So that's something to keep in mind. But for me, no big surprise. I'm on the Wild money line, minus 125. Locked it in a few weeks ago. Florida is beat up. And then to find out that Sam Bennett, their second line center, is out for this game as well. Florida is beat up. Minnesota does have an injury of their own. Captain Jared Spurgeon will be out. So that potentially could help Florida offensively. So I want to talk anybody off the over. I know a lot of people think Minnesota a low scoring team from last year. But if you look at Minnesota the year before, they were a high powered offense. So it's just kind of how the season goes. We'll find out. But when it comes to player props in this game, I could tell you to look at Kaprizov, which is not a bad bet. I could tell you to look at Matt Boldy, which is also not a bad bet. But I have been on Marco Rossi's side. I have mentioned him over and over again in videos and anytime I talk about the Wild. Plus 330, anytime goal. He scored in the final game of the preseason, and I am betting it so that it happens. I'm going to will it into existence. Marco Rossi is going to have a breakout year for Minnesota. and it starts with a goal tonight to open the season. Plus 330 anytime goal for Marco Rossi. Best game of the night. Yes, Robert, I completely agree. Fading Florida missing top 2 defensemen. Yes. Wild money line and team total over 3.5. I can agree with that. Let's get wild. Yes, Richie. Let's get wild. Terry picked the wild shock face. Yeah, I kind of said that people probably wouldn't be surprised with my pick in the first game of the season, but there you go. Wild money line and under 6.5. Gus Bus. Yes. He is. If Gustafson plays like he did last year, he could really hurt some over the totals. If he plays like he did last year, so I could see that. I could see that. Let's cook, Terry. Yes, let's go. Kirill Bang would not be surprised. He got the assistant. He got the A on his sweater, and he has been pissed off. He came into training camp pissed off with how last year ended, and he is obviously he's the Wild's best player. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Kirill take a bigger step this year than what we've seen from him in the past. Yeah, I would be shocked if the Panthers win this game, but can't bet against them. Hey, I feel you, Jake. I don't bet against the Wild. And for new people watching the show, I'm not going to be on the Wild money line every game, but I won't bet against them. It's just something I won't do, and that's just how it is. But Florida, they've dominated Minnesota in the last few years, so that's pretty much all they really have going for them. And Jared Spurgeon being out, but I think the Wild are ready for this game in their home opener. He better have a breakout year. Time is up. Yes, I know, and that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm talking about him. Rossi is going to do it. I'm positive in him. I have lots of confidence in him. I like the Blue Jackets and Predators. I like the Blue Jackets as well. We're just kind of surprising, but first game of the year, I like them. Kirill's going to have 50 goals. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. I'd be pissed if I had to play Minnesota too. Laughing face. I don't know what you're trying to say there, but I don't know what you're trying to say there, Nick. But that's fine. Going to our next game. Oops, I showed the pick before breaking down the odds. Don't want to do that. St. Louis Blues anywhere from plus 170 to plus 186. Dallas Stars at home minus 200 to minus 225. 6.5 for the total in this one. And this is one of the few games where I'm kind of torn on when it comes to side or total. I like Dallas. I'm very high in Dallas. They are number 2 in my power rankings. But I don't know if I want to lay the puck line with Dallas first game of the year. The Dallas Stars was a very heavy overtime team last year, and I could see this game possibly being close, being a 1-goal game for the Dallas Stars. So yes, if I had to bet a side or total in this game, I would be parlaying Dallas money line with another game. And that's totally fine. That's where I'd go if I was going to bet a side or total. But for me, it's Wyatt Johnston over half a point plus 100 for the Dallas Stars. Rope Hintz will not be playing in this game tonight. So Dallas has to juggle their lines. That's another reason why I'm not running to the window to bet the puck line is Rope Hintz being out. So Wyatt Johnston ends up moving to the second line with Ben, who he had chemistry with last year. And I'm getting his point prop at plus 100 here. And he's had success against St. Louis when he faced them last season, scoring at least 1 goal in all 3 games. So give me Johnston over half a point, plus 100 in this game. Dog or pass? Pass. Yeah, pass. I want both teams to lose. Yeah, Yeah, I can feel you there. I can feel you there. Stars, yes, I think so. I think so, Richie. Stars money line at under 6.5. I do think Stars money line is a good parlay piece, and I'm not saying not to take the under because of this, but yeah, Bennington is going to have to really improve a lot this year for St. Louis to have any chance of making any kind of noise, making any kind of playoff run. Bennington's going to have a good year, and I don't see it. It's really easy to get under his skin before he starts to want to start fighting everybody, and instead of focusing on his job, which is stopping pucks, he's more focused on trying to fight everybody. So Bennington's not somebody that I can put my money on. So you're not going to see me bet St. Louis very often, unless they go on some kind of streak. Then I will bet them, but you won't see me betting St. Louis very often. Richie does not think this is going to be a close game. No overtime for Richie. 6-1 or 5-2 stars. Wow, Richie. I like it. Parlay Devils money line, Stars money line, and Sabres money line. That would be some nice plus money because the Sabres are plus money. So that would be a nice three-teamer. Johnston anytime goal. Yes, that is even bigger plus money, but I'll take the half a point at plus 100. I did get burned yesterday a little bit with taking the goal instead of point props. So I'll take point props when I can get them. But won't be surprised to see Johnston's goal score. And of course, Pavelski anytime goal. Yes, Richie loves Pavelski anytime goal, Heiskanen assist. And I went to look at Heiskanen assist, hoping to get a good number, and I think it's minus 170. So it's like, oh, thanks, books. So that is obviously a parlay piece, Heiskanen assist. That is something I'd look at. Bennington will get bumped down to the AHL, and then I'll bet against him in the AHL because that's a good thing to mention. The AHL show, I will be starting tomorrow. Not going to be going over every game like I do the NHL, especially early on, because I'm going to be very selective in what AHL games I do bet. But if you're interested in betting American hockey, the American Hockey League, which is obviously the league below the NHL, where all the prospects of teams go, make sure to tune into that show starting tomorrow. But yes, Pennington is not a good goalie. Not a good goalie, in my opinion. But going to the next game here, we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks in this one. Vegas minus 225 to minus 250. San Jose plus 190 to plus 212. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And I've already said on previous shows, I'm higher on the San Jose Sharks than other people. Now, they're not going anywhere near a playoff spot, nothing like that. But I don't think they're a lock to finish last. Like everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people have the Sharks as the worst team in the league, and that's that. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think there's some other teams that will compete with them for last place. But that being said, this game is not the spot to go and try to take the Sharks. The Sharks and the Vegas Golden Knights obviously have a history. Obviously, they haven't really been, Vegas has only been in the league not that long. But since they've joined, they have a rivalry here with the San Jose Sharks. And Vegas has had their way with the Sharks 15, 1, and 2. So 15 wins, 1 regulation loss, 2 overtime losses in the last 18 meetings. Vegas won by multiple goals in 10 of the 15 games. When you look at what happens when Vegas goes to San Jose, 8 wins, 0 losses, 1 overtime loss in their last 9 games there, winning by multiple goals in 7 of the 9 games. So this is not the team that San Jose wants to open up their season against because it's a team that's completely dominated them throughout the years. Vegas 26, 7, and 8 on the road last year. They were a road moneymaker, and no big surprise here. Give me Vegas Golden Knights -1.5 at +105. I think that's a great price. If I had to choose a best bet, that would be my best bet of the night. When it comes to props, Jonathan Marchessault, anytime goal +150. You're getting +150 for Vegas's best goal scorer, especially last year. Already scored this year, I believe. +150, and you're getting that against the Sharks defense and the Sharks goaltending. So give me Marchessault goal, anytime goal +150. And if Marchessault is going to score, the guy beside him is likely going to assist, and Eichel assist is -105. So that's where I would go in this game between Vegas and San Jose. Maybe the obvious play: Vegas -1.5 +105, and lean San Jose team total under 2.5. Not obvious play, but it's a play that I have to absolutely take. Vegas money line and over 6.5. I could see that. I could see that. Vegas -1.5 and Devils money line parlay. Oof. I like that one. I do. I like that one. I like that one. Salute, Terry. Thank you, Kev. Salute. I might go get to Vegas first period -0.5 as well. Like, yeah, that's probably nice plus money to start off the season. But that is it. That is the Thursday slate. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoy the content. If you want my plays, I already have an NFL 3-pack up for the weekend, college football play up tonight as well. So if you want any of my premium plays, they're in the description below. As I said, don't buy my NHL pack because I've given you all my NHL premium plays for free here on the channel. So if you want my other sports, make sure to get those. And hit the like and subscribe button. And we'll see you again tomorrow, a little bit later. But we'll have the NHL show and the first AHL show on the channel. So make sure to tune into those. Kev Cook, his favorite bet, his best bet of the night is Sabres money line and Wild money line. Best of luck. Best of luck. And he's 3-1 on plays so far. Good luck, Kev. And let's hit it tonight. Yes, let's get it. And let's go Wild.